So, hi everyone. Welcome to Black Excellence in Healthcare, White Coats and Real Talk podcast. On tonight's episode, we have nurse practitioner KeShaun.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Good. So, just tell the audience your name, your title.
My name is KeShaun Harding. I am a board certified nurse practitioner. I have been a nurse for 15 years, nurse practitioner for 5 years. I actually own and operate Obsidian Aura Med Spa located in Tinley Park. We're a full service med spa specializing in all things healthcare and wellness. And I actually recently launched my business coaching. So under the Key Collective, where we focus on mindset. Because I tell people, anybody can find the steps to open a business, but do you have the mindset, to kind of navigate the highs and lows of entrepreneurship? So I'm excited about that.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. And mindset is extremely important because we do get a lot of people that say, oh, I want to start a business. I want to do this, and really don't have that mindset. And when they don't, it does not become successful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So you just stated that you have your own practice. So how long have you been an entrepreneur?
4 years. Oh. Just 4 years. Made 4 years in February. Seems like forever, but I think it was just meant for me to do it. So it feels real natural. Like this is what I was supposed to be doing. So
that's good. That's good. Prior to you becoming an entrepreneur, was it anything that you specialized in?
No, I actually did home health maybe about 9 years. I only did bedside for like 2 years. It was not for me. So, I did home health about 9 years. And then I worked for an insurance company where that was my first experience with like the nursing homes. Okay. Before I became a nurse practitioner. And then that was it. Okay, we
got some of the same experience. I did the nursing home. Nice. Well, I do the nursing homes. I've been doing nursing homes for a very long time. Okay. But I did home health for about 6 years. Okay. Yeah. Nice. So that's good. That's good to know. So what does Black excellence in healthcare mean to you?
It gives me chills when I hear Black excellence. We are amazing. Black excellence to me, not only in healthcare, but in general, just means us, owning our voice and really standing in our purpose, making noise or making our presence known in the spaces where we were previously excluded from. We were obviously very knowledgeable, and I just feel like we were kind of brainwashed to think small. And so Black excellence means realizing that we're very intelligent. We're very smart. We can, do anything that we want to do, but standing in that, owning that, spreading that to the people around us, and just, maximizing our potential, being great.
I love it. Yes, I second all that. That is awesome. So what does it mean for you personally to wear the white coat?
Funny story. I take it really personally when I see people with the white coat on that didn't earn that white coat. Okay. This white coat just means that I've really taken initiative to just elevate to another level, really take ownership. For me, it was about the independence, as an RN without the white coat, we taking orders, and we know we're the heart of, healthcare really, but, you're taking orders and you're kind of limited in how you kind of handle your patients and care for your patients. So the white coat just allowed me to care for my patients the way I want to care for them, the way I believe that they need to be cared for, and just provide a different level of care for them.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. So what is one piece of advice that you will give to future Black healthcare professionals, the next generation coming behind us?
Yes. 2 things. Focus on your mental health. Really, get to know yourself, spend time with yourself, but, try to heal wounds, that we've encountered, but you haven't, you can't take ownership. Well, you take ownership for those wounds, but, just to heal through those traumas, those things that have created almost brainwashed us, people have a difficulty moving forward because they have these self-sabotage and beliefs about themselves or about the world that, really hinders them. So I would advise them to really take their mental health seriously, get therapy. I send everybody to therapy. Go talk to somebody.
Yes, please.
Please go talk to somebody. But then also just work together. The crab crabs in the barrel mentality, is old. It's really, I think what really hinders us as a people. So I would encourage us to just help each other, stand together. I lift you up, you lift me up, and we can all reach the top. It's enough out here for everybody.
It is. It really is. And I honestly wish a lot of people had that mindset. Because we can go so much
I'm
further
telling you.
together.
I'm telling you.
Yes. So I want to dive in this with you.
Okay.
So it's some controversy going on social media.
Uh-oh.
So I have to, of course, ask your opinion because you're a provider. And I see that you have the lashes and the nails as well as I have lashes and I have nails. Now, the young lady who's a provider who made that statement stating that providers and nurses that wear, the long lashes, the super long nails, because she had on nails too. I don't know her ethnicity. She could probably be bad. I don't know. I didn't like the term ghetto.
Right.
that she used. I mean, because everybody have their own interpretation of what ghetto may mean. But unprofessional, I want to see what's your opinion, what's your perspective on that. Have you heard about it?
I did. I caught it real quick. I, try to stay away from the social media because Lord have mercy. That rabbit hole of social media wouldn't get nothing done.
You're right.
But I did catch that. And I do believe there's levels to it. Cardi B nails are an absolute no.
Absolutely.
Absolute no,
Absolutely.
But I also think that because we become professionals, that's not all we are. We are people outside of, our professionalism. So if that's, if your job mandates that you, present yourself a certain way, either you're going to do it or that's not the job for you. Does it make me ghetto? Probably, but you're not ghetto. It doesn't make you ghetto because you're doing it as a professional. You just ghetto. So ghetto is ghetto. So, you're not. The way you put that. If you ghetto, you ghetto. I'm like, right, just because you're an entrepreneur, a healthcare professional, that don't make you more ghetto because you're doing it. You know what I mean? Right. So I personally, it's to each his own. If you like the long lashes and the long nails, do your thing. If your nails not killing nobody, hurting nobody, do your thing. Would I do it? Absolutely not. I think it's too, I wouldn't do it in general though, right. But yes, I think it's too much. I think that especially for people who care about what others think or how the other people may perceive us or whatever, you do want to carry yourself a certain type of way. But I honestly, to each his own, and who would get on social media and say something like that. It's just looking for attention.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, you that bothered? Like,
yeah, you that bothered.
You're that bothered.
That part.
And I didn't actually see it on social media. It was actually sent to me.
Really?
And one of my colleagues was like, I think you need to discuss this on your podcast. Because I try not to get into all of that, people's opinions and what other people have to say. Because people just going to be people.
Basically.
Right, people gonna be peopling. So I try not to engage into all of that. But I said, okay, well, I asked a couple people and see, what's their thoughts behind it.
If it works for you,
yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. Part, yes. Right. So I do a little segment in the show called White Coat Confessions. So this is White Coats and Real Talk.
Okay, yes.
So everything is not all about being providers, right?
Right.
A lot of the audience want to know a little real life of what's going on in your real life. So what's one thing, maybe in your healthcare journey or personally, professionally, or a lesson learned that don't nobody else know, that has shaped you into who you are today?
Oh, so much. Where do I start? So first, one of the main things, I'm going to give you two. Okay. So I recently actually just started talking about this publicly. And this was basically like a trauma that my family experienced years ago that for sure shaped who I am today, shaped who I've been throughout my life. But when people think of trauma, they think of something negative. And granted, it was negative, but when they see me, they see the accolades, the credentials, the the confidence, the no nonsense demeanor. And while those are good things, they're, looked at or thought about highly, it came from something very traumatic that happened to my family a long time ago. So, I really want the reason I've been speaking about it is just to encourage other people who have gone through those hard things that you got to shift your mindset and take control of that. And you can really still do, we have people who experience things and they become drug addicts or, homeless, things like that. But there is the other side of that, but you just have to take ownership. Just shift your mindset, get help, go to therapy, things like that. And you can really still, make it look good. It doesn't have to define you. The other thing, I was fired. That's how I became a full-time entrepreneur. Best thing ever happened to me, right? So, a lot of people, and so that was another thing, like I've been talking about recently, nobody wants to talk about the failures or the really hard things that we've had to deal with. But every time I get a no, it's like, come on, I hit the ground running. And so there was a time where I was debating between, I was actually going to close down my med spot because trying to hold down the full-time job. I was married at the time, 2 kids, everything. It was so much. And so that in that moment seemed like the thing that I needed to let go. And I felt like there was so many things that said, absolutely not. Like, that is what you're supposed to do. And then I got fired. And I said, well, there you go. Took on the med spa full time, scaled from, let's say I went from 15,000 in revenue to 115,000 in revenue the next year. I know that's right. Yes. Yes. So it's, so that was not a loss. That was Absolutely. A lesson. Mm-hmm. And I believe that it was already written and it really helped me delve into my purpose. So.
That is awesome. Thank you. That's a good testimony. Yes. Okay. Yes. For some people to hear, because going into entrepreneurship, it's hard when you're a provider and you're trying to decide, should I let this job go? Mm-hmm. And I think we kind of just hold on to the knowing.
Absolutely.
Knowing like, okay, we know we're going to get this paycheck. Yes. We know we're going to get this money.
Yes.
Because we know we got bills and things and family that we need to provide for. And sometimes when you don't let it go, it end up just moving on out the way. That part, for you to fully focus on what you was meant to do.
Absolutely.
That is amazing. Yeah.
I've been full-time entrepreneur almost 2 years now.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And, it's just something that the world really needs to, see, know,
Absolutely.
Even the ones that, outside of, like family and friends, clients.
Yes.
Because that's major.
Yeah.
That really is major.
I say we got to talk about, those hard things, that real talk, that's how we learn and encourage people and gain from experience, pretending like it's all pretty. And then you got other people sitting here trying to figure out like, why can't I do it like they doing it? Is because we did navigate the things that you're going through. It just doesn't seem like it. So being transparent allows them to, just understand and see themselves in us. And that then it becomes more realistic that they can achieve what they want to achieve.
That's awesome. Y'all hear that? That is pretty dope. So what is coming up for you? Like, give us some details. What are we looking forward to?
So much. So really getting the Key Collective off the ground. So the Key, I came with, my name is KeShaun. And so the Key, I'm the Key. So I'm the Key, but the Key is mindset. So really focusing on mental health and mindset and just really encouraging entrepreneurs, Black specifically, to step out on faith and take control of their mindset and just get rid of those self-sabotaging beliefs that they can't be great, that they have to be stuck at a 9-to-5 or somebody else's job. Now, granted, as entrepreneurs, we work 24/7. Right. But you're not answering to nobody. And it's a different kind of stress that, that I really can appreciate. So really getting the Key Collective off the ground. I'm really stepping into motivational speaking as well. So I'll be a keynote speaker at the MP Week conference in November. Yep. So I'm doing that. And I have a series that I would love for you to come to as well. It's called
More. To wherever you invite
me
to.
Thank you. It's called More Than a Brand. So this was the event I hosted. My very first one was May 1st. And I invited some fellow entrepreneurs. I actually had Van Johnson from Black Ink Chicago. He was there. Reggie Bird. He's a personal trainer, has his own gym in Calumet City.
Yeah. My clinic is close by here.
Okay, yep. So he was there. And then actually my best friend, who's also, she's a nurse practitioner, but she's also a breast cancer survivor. And so, yeah, so she came and we cried, we laughed, we joked, we ate, we, just talked about everything. And it was so impactful. So it's actually going to become a series, and I'll be doing it again in June, and just invite, different entrepreneurs to come out and really tell their truth and be transparent and help other entrepreneurs, basically what I said, to see that we did struggle to get here, but it's possible, It's not impossible. So yeah.
That is so awesome.
Thank you.
That is amazing. And yes, invite me.
Absolutely. Yes.
That is awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
Y'all see that?
I got a lot going on.
See this Black excellence. This Black excellence.
Yes, Black excellence.
Seriously. And I've been following you, and I'm like, oh my God, people don't even know how much I be rooting for other people.
Yes.
And I really wanted to do this podcast, even though a lot of people, because I mentor a lot of nurses. Okay. And they've been telling me that I need to do a podcast. I'm like, I don't even listen to podcasts. But it's just really been heavy on me. And my late friend who passed away from breast cancer, Kathy, she was like, no, you need to start a podcast. It'll be it'll be a bigger impact, and just, just go for it. And I just did it. I just did it. And just so other people can hear everybody's stories and what they went through. And a lot of times people see us and say, oh, they so successful. Oh, they have this going on, but don't know exactly what we've been through to get to where we are. Yes. And we still have challenges.
Absolutely.
We still have challenges. People don't understand the hard work behind it, the hard work we continue to put into it. Yes. So it's great minds. And I was like, no, I'm going to start this because I want people to hear people's stories. Absolutely. And then it's good that you're doing the coaching thing too, and giving back and helping others too as well. Because I tell people, when I was on my journey, I had to learn everything on my own. I didn't have mentors and people that I could reach out to, and the ones that were doing businesses and things, they was gatekeeping. They didn't want to share knowledge, resources, so it was very hard, and I couldn't understand why. But it ain't meant for me to understand, right?
Because God is going to bless you for giving back. So
and put me through that journey. I had to go through my own journey so I can be able to help others too as well. So they don't have to experience the things that I experienced on their road to, trying to be an entrepreneur or trying to be a nurse practitioner.
Yes. Well, congrats to you. This is beautiful. When I got there, I was like, oh, look, she invited me. I said, okay. Yes, I'm excited
I've been following you and seeing all the amazing things you're doing in your spa. And I'm just I'll be on the scrolling through the thing yes, go girl.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I just love seeing people, especially our people, you're excelling.
Yes.
Doing great things. And changing the narrative.
Yes.
And breaking those
generational curses. Yes. Absolutely. Took the words out of my mouth, setting these babies up, setting these babies up. And that's a big reason why I do it. I have 2 babies. Well, they're not babies, but they my babies. My 14-year-old son and my 11-year-old daughter.
They still babies.
They gonna be 30 and 40. Yes. They gonna be my babies. But just setting it up for them. They love watching me do my thing. And I just need them to have that example. I want them to choose their own path, but I want them to have an example so that they know what's attainable. Our parents, we were raised different. And I feel what we didn't see, we didn't know was out there. So I like to set examples for them and let them see, you can do whatever it is that you want to do,
Absolutely. Yeah. I know they're so proud of them.
They are.
I know they are. And it's just a good feeling to be able to give your kids that example.
Yeah.
Because they probably my mama, my role model.
I know. Look, when my kids shot me out on Instagram,
yes, look, that's good.
My baby, she walks around. She's like, "Ma, he needs your hair restoration service." I'm like, She just pointing them out like, you need to come see my mama. Like, she's so funny.
That's good. That is awesome. So what is something that you want to tell the audience?
Stick together. And don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. I always tell people, I'm like Kanye, right? And I know he crazy, just a little bit, right? But that man really, I think he's very intelligent.
He's very intelligent.
And he believes there's nothing that he can't do. And that's why he can deal with all the negative talk, the drama, and continue to excel in everything or whatever. And I say, I believe that there's nothing I can't do. If there's no such thing as a brick wall, there's either this way or that way, but I'm going to get what I want, So just keep going, Yeah.
That is some great advice. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Because a lot of times people be wanting to give up. Like, oh, no, I cannot do that. But then it all goes back to that mindset.
That mindset. That's
so they got to take care of that mental. Yes. I mean, we have our moments where we be like, oh, no.
Listen, in the midst of it, like, yes, I'm telling you can do it. You got it. And meanwhile, I'm like, I can't do it no more. I'm like, but you can do it, but I can't do it no more. It gets hard, but it is when people think about the difference between saying, well, what if I'm not going to be able to? What if you said I can? That opens up so many different doors. Yeah. And so I just want, just believe in yourself. Just do it.
I be telling people, like, just always remember your why.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Because that will turn back around
Absolutely.
Everything, all the negative thoughts and things like that. Just remember your why. And sometimes people get discouraged when they plan things and it don't go the way that it's planned. I tell people, the path, it may change.
Absolutely.
It might not go as planned, but that end goal, you gonna get there.
It's called a pivot. Absolutely. We got to put, it's called a pivot, And so, I was doing like this masterclass and, there's so many different brands that actually pivoted. They began as one thing, but they are what we know them as now. And unless you do your research, you have no idea that they started as, like, I think Spotify, even maybe McDonald's, they all started as something else that we have no idea about, but they made a pivot to keep thriving and became the brands that we know today. So you just got to keep going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, how can the audience, the people, follow you?
Yes.
How can they get all up in your business?
Get all up in my business. So, I'm on Instagram. I actually have 2 accounts. One is at the Key, so THEKEY _NP. The other is the Med Spa. That is Obsidian _Aura Med Spa. OBSIDIAN _AURA MEDSPA. You want to know what Obsidian stands for? What it means?
I was just about to ask you.
I love when people ask me.
And why did you pick that particular name?
So I wanted to say I'm Black without saying I'm Black, right? When I was picking my business, it's a Black-owned business. And so I just, started searching things, other ways to say Black. And so Obsidian is actually a black stone formed from volcanic lava. And spiritually, it means protection from negativity, growth, and elevation. Oh my God. And aura was just another way to say vibe. Right? So this is the vibe I wanted and the vibe that I've curated. So Obsidian Aura.
You thought deep into
that.
I did. That's some intelligence for you.
I know.
You thought deep into that. Yes. I love every bit of that.
Thank you.
I love every bit of that. Oh, yes. So, do you have anything else you want to share before we wrap up tonight's episode?
No. Make sure you guys follow Dr. White and watch this podcast. I'm super excited to watch all the other episodes as well, but stay encouraged, keep moving, and reach out to us. You see, we both like to, we're not gatekeepers over here. No, so, we gonna give you the game. So keep watching.
So that will end tonight's episode of Black Excellence in Healthcare, White Coats and Real Talk podcast. Make sure that you follow me on all platforms, White Coats _Real Talk _podcast. On Instagram, Facebook is White Coats and Real Talk podcast. And make sure you subscribe, like, follow, comment on our YouTube channel. And of course, we're streaming on all platforms where you can listen to and watch this podcast. Until then, be great.